All right, so I'm getting my leather stuff back up and going again, and I'm gathering the all the hardware and materials for my next Haversack project. But I thought I would stop and kind of show or share what is my favorite design of a, I'm going to call it medium haversack, because there's kind of two extremes you can go with a haversack or a bushcraft shoulder bag. One being something like this monster here that is just loaded with side pouches and you know, extra features. And then the other side is something as basic as this oilcloth sack bag that I got about, probably pushing 7 years ago now, from the Pathfinder school. Both are great in their own right, but my favorite design is something kind of in the middle. So this guy right here is my self-contained kit. I can grab this bag and just go for like a day hike, and it has everything I need in it. And some of the things I have in this, I also would actually take out and put in my step down haversack kit, like something that I would wear in conjunction with maybe a belt kit also, which I've done videos on. But some of the features that I like about this kit that I'm going to include in my new one are what's on the back here. Okay, so you can see this this stitch here is an internal pocket located on the back, so you'd open it up and slide your hand right down the back and be able to just drop right into that small pocket to get little items. Because otherwise you put them in the top and they're just going to fall to the bottom. Now this bag includes pouches or access to small items like this Leatherman here on the outside, so you don't have to go fishing through the whole thing. And there's a reason for that, mainly being it frees up storage space in here for I have a water bottle, a poncho with a cup, and then a fire kit, but I would actually include a food kit in here. Just a bag of trail mix or granola bars or something like that, maybe hot chocolate and tea, coffee, whatever, for a day hike. And then in the bottom, I just have like extra fat wood, maybe a Mora knife, some cotton bandanas, maybe like a first aid kit, something like that. Something I can still, if I need, I can still get to the bottom and just, rip it out. But it's in the bottom. It's there if I need it. But that has stuff like, get it back over here. It also has stuff like these, D-rings. You can see how the strap pivots. It's got this place. It's got a loop fits my tomahawk, which that can be for a hatchet, whatever. But it's just more versatile. And just these things make such a huge difference. Just these loops, the D-rings to make it ride better, and then that axe loop, which is optional, that this basic one doesn't have. See, this one, you put it on and it really, the thin strap tries to, you put after, like say, a full water bottle, it kind of digs into you. And it also really wanted to slide to the front all the time. Even that big one loaded down will stay where I put it, just kind of behind me, behind my arm there. The other thing is this is a good bag, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it. It just didn't quite suit my needs as my skills and kit developed. This is a very low profile bag, which keeps you from overloading it. The problem is I just wanted to put a couple more things in here that there just weren't enough room, and I didn't want them in my belt pouch because I was wearing this in conjunction with a belt knife and this belt pouch. There was things I wanted in here that I was constantly getting to, and I didn't want to be having to get into my belt pouch or both of them at the same time. So that's where I did some more research. Deepwood Handcraft had a lot of features on his that he shared. This was the big one that I just showed, was based off of the bow hunter that he made years back. So what I did was I made a couple years ago, I made a haversack based off of this one, dimension wise, but I included some features I learned from making belt pouches, mainly the inside seam. You actually make a belt pouch like this inside out. You have your front, you have your back. There's two separate pieces. You put your flap. This also has an internal pocket, your belt loop, and then like this one has the medallion on the front to help reinforce the closure. You put them face to face, you sew it up, and then you actually turn it right. So you actually make it inside out, and then you turn it back right when you're done. But what you get is this really nice closing mechanism, and you can accomplish that with something the size of a haversack. This has no room to expand. It's one solid piece folded over and then sewn up the outside. So what I do is I cut my materials just a bit bigger. This is my raw materials, and this is the front panel. By itself, it is 13 across and 15 tall. The Pathfinder haversack is 12 by 14. When I take these and put them face to face, and I'll round these corners off just a little bit, and I sew it, I'll actually lose, because after I sew and then turn it back inside out or right side out, I'll lose almost a 1/4 inch all the way around. So that will actually shrink that back down to about 12.5 inches. But when you open the flap and go to get into it, the seam will flex and open like this. So as you put a water bottle, a poncho, your tinder bag, and stuff like that, maybe a Baco Laplander. I mean, I'm not trying to set my house up in here. That stuff will ride in this package better. Another feature I like is a very ample flap. Something I don't add is a pocket on the flap, because every time you open it up, your stuff falls out. Even if you put a closure on it, I keep losing. I always lost stuff out of the other bag, so I don't mess with that. Sometimes I'll include a pocket on the front panel, but this one will set like this. You can see, even if it expands, I'll get my hand in there. Even if it expands, I'll have plenty of flap, keeping the stuff I want inside and what I don't want out. The back will have the same setup as my, I'm just going to call it my bow hunter. So what I've got before I'm going to do my finishing touches is I have these strips of leather right here, and I have the D-rings. I have a belt on order just because I don't have one full size, but belts can be found very cheaply at a Goodwill or something like that. But what that'll happen is, one, the belt, if I utilize it correctly, will give the strap some adjustment. It'll give it a little bit extra real estate up here, so it's not cutting into my shoulder as bad, and it'll give it this pivoting effect. So as this bag rides on my side, this will actually pivot. Whether I lose or gain weight, or if I'm wearing a thicker coat or something like that, I can let it out, but those will also pivot, and it really helps this thing stay where you put it. the stationary straps always want to roll forward on me. You know, you see something down, you're on the creek, you see a piece of flint or something, reach down and grab it, and your bag comes around and smacks you in the face. Even fully loaded, my big one doesn't do that. So this will also, I have the option of also including a belt loop like my tomahawk or axe loop, and you know, I'll have a really nice bag when I'm done. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of share some of the features of that bag. I'll be doing a second part of this once it's complete. This isn't really a build along, it's just pointing out the features that I like in this style of bag.